Sky Squad, we are back in the mother freaking building on this good Sunday morning to talk about love and marriage DC. We're on season 2B and it's the third episode. I think it's called Personal Foul, okay? Or Step Up, or Lean In, Lean Back, Lean In, or Lean Back. So, I still it baffles my mind for me honestly why this season was held back for so long. It's really to me giving a good season. I feel like they have hit a stride in this second half of the season. And so for me, I just kind of feel like, why did we do this? Why did we wait so long? I don't think I will ever understand that. And if I felt honestly, I tuned in and tapped in to a little bit of the Winter and Ashley and Carlos live stream last night because I really wanted to ask, when are we getting a season 3? Like, what's the tea? What are we filming again? What's going on, right? And maybe the network wants to see how well this season does, but I mean, judging by the passion with which many of you guys are commenting, or at least were commenting on that live last night, you know, y'all definitely feeling some type of way. Okay. Now, as I was looking at the live last night and I was scrolling through reading the comments, I was actually a little shocked that I was like, I mean, like, I know that we get passionate about these shows, but I mean, the people was going in and going ham and letting have. And I almost wish I didn't watch it before I did this video because now certain things have been put into context for me. And while I feel like I like it when I'm watching Married to Medicine and I get the recap, what I realized is the reason I do not like to watch the recap from Carlos and Dr. Heavenly before I do my video is because I don't want to be influenced by what they say. I don't want to know certain things when I give my review because I want to just watch it and give my review, then go watch what they said, and then the light bulbs go off, right? I really like for my recaps to be a natural reaction to what I see on the scene. So just kind of wanted to fill you guys in on my general thoughts going into this particular recap. Um, again, for me, this episode, I'm gonna give it like a 9.5 or a 9 point. Honestly, I could give this episode a 9.9, almost a 10. And for me, I have gone into the season with very little expectation because in my mind, I was like, well, they held it back for so long. It must not be no good. And then every week I turn it on and I'm like, no, wait, no, okay, no, we getting some good stuff. There's not a scene that I feel like I needed to scroll past. And I actually took notes last night. Let me know what you guys will rate it down in the comment section down below. I'm really, really interested in knowing what you guys would think about the episode in particular. So let's dive right in, shall we? We start with the guys back at the wrestling event, and the guys are discussing Carmen and how she fits into Joy and Clifton's marriage. To me, because there's not really been a major issue yet outside of, I guess, Carmen posting a bunch of photos with Clifton. I mean, I really feel like that's up to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever their situation is, thruple or not, I really feel like however y'all run y'all think y'all ship over there, like that ain't got nothing to do with, I mean, how you run your ship is not rocking my boat, essentially. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want to fit 50 people on that cruise ship, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. It ain't got nothing to do with me, and it ain't affecting my friendship with you. So at the end of the day, I don't really care. If you like it, I love it. That's why I have gotten to as a grown adult at this point in time. If you like something, I mean, if you got a relationship over here that look a little strange to me, it ain't really my business. to be honest with you. So I'm gonna have to let you live in that Strangeville, and I'm just gonna have to learn. I mean, the world will adjust. Simple as. Um, they bring up, I think it was Jamie that brings up Ashley revealing to, because it's all the guys. It's Quick, Jamie, Clifton, as well as Black. Mind you, we've seen a lot of Black this season, but not a lot of Sherelle, which is very odd to me. But nonetheless, all the guys are getting together, and here we are, right? So when Jamie brings up Ashley revealing that Joy and Clifton are married, it does beg the question for me, I guess, is why would you go on a reality TV show called Love and Marriage, then attempt to hide said marriage? Like, I just don't get it. I mean, when I did ask Ashley about it, she mentioned something about maybe they wanted some type of like wedding spinoff or something like that. But then at that point, to me, why not just wait to get married in front of, like, why do the pomp and the circumstance and the pageantry of it all when you could just simply wait to get married? Like, or if you can't wait to get married, just be like, listen, we married, and we still want to have a big old wedding. I don't see nothing wrong with that. However, comma.org, that does not take away from the fact that she told Ashley in private and Ashley revealed it. So here we are, yet again, talking about this issue. So as Quick begins to describe the situation, he basically tries to say that he would blame his wife for telling the secretion in the first place, which I would too, to be quite honest with you. If I'm the husband, I'm like, babe, why have you turned into WikiLeaks and have spilt the beans about what we trying to do if we trying to get this spinoff, babe? Why would you do that? Or we trying to get this wedding special or something like that? I don't really know. Like, I wouldn't tell nobody, especially not somebody that I barely know. However, comment.org, I am also the person that when people tell me stuff, honestly, it be going up in here, down here, okay? Because I just feel like I never want to be that person that kind of gets caught up in, okay, well, somebody told me this, well, I'm telling somebody else that, and now it becomes a thing later. I would just rather you even not tell me, to be quite honest with you, because if I don't know it, I ain't got to be responsible for it. Bottom line. Anyway, and I feel like that's how you just live in peace, baby. That's how you live in peace and harmony. You walk blithely through life, completely unaware of any extra activities going on around you, because honestly, you are too busy living in your own la la land. That is how I like to exist in my day-to-day life. Okay. Um, there is some discrepancy about whether or not, I mean, about Quick seeing Ashley's apology message and whether or not Clifton actually saw it. I really don't understand why this is important at all, to be quite honest with you. The fact of the matter is this: Joy told Ashley, Ashley told Alicia on the camera. Ashley apologized to Joy. Joy has a right to not accept that apology until she is ready. And here we are. Bottom line, right? Jamie just wants to get everybody together to iron all the issues out. And the scene ends there with no real resolution that we can see. All right, so the next scene, I am taken aback by the bearded dragon of it all. And as I watch Irena's Mama T in the pet shop with this baby bearded dragon upon her bosom, I can't help but think to myself, I want one too. Now, in my mind, why the lizard is not biting her fingers or the nape of her neck? The lizard don't bite. I mean, if I put my finger too close to the lizard's mouth, is it going to snap like a snake? I mean, what's going to happen? And how can I too now have a lizard perched upon my bosom so that I may do my videos with bosom bearded dragon perched for you all to see as well. Okay. That's what I would like. Crickets not included. I'm just going to go ahead and be honest with you. I am going to be researching getting my own bearded dragon. But if the moment that thing looked like it's about to snap and bite a finger, it's going to have to go back to the pet shop. Meanwhile, Jamie reveals that all the guys were at the wrestling ring, and Arena reveals that she saw Carmen post multiple videos of Clifton and Carmen. Now, some of you guys may be new here because I saw this comment the other day because I was pronouncing documentary. When I pronounce things differently, 9 times out of 10 is for the fun of it. Okay. So please stop getting in the comment section trying to chastise me for the way I enunciate and pronounce words that I'm clearly, for the people who are not new here, already know that I am pronouncing that way for the fun of it all. For the same reason, I am going to be yelling at Norman later. Okay. If you don't know who Norman is, you've not been here long enough. Welcome, okay? Now, anyway, the reason I pronounce Carmen that same way is, ain't that how Mama Joyce used to say Carmen back in the day when she was talking about Candy's friend Carmen and throwing the shoe at her? So that's where I get that from, for those of you guys who are inevitably going to complain about something, okay? Some of you, I know who you are. Actually, I don't. But anyway, you're going to complain. Documentary, event. I'm having fun. Okay? Stop trying to steal people's joy because you don't have any. Anyway, so Arena's talking about all these videos that Carmen posted with Clifton, hey bestie. And so Jamie reveals, well, we talked about that, and Clifton said that, that's his PR person. Now I don't know what the situation is now, but when I did look online, this is a different person's name as his PR person. So I don't know what did happen, but maybe the throuple is over. Anyway, Arena feels like she needs to advise Joy that Carmen can't call that man her best friend. For some reason, Arena wants to know how Jamie feels about this. Do you think it's okay, Jamie? Do you think it's okay? And, this is a recipe for an argumentation in a marriage. You know what I'm saying? You cannot make your spouse think exactly the same way you do. And he feel like he already talked to her. So I didn't really understand it. Like, I get it because I feel like I get it because I get it. But I also get, like, I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with us. So why are we talking about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I just feel like for whatever reason she was triggered, and I feel like she needs to get down to the bottom of the triggerization of it all, which they will, but we ain't got there yet. So, poor mom and this poor bearded dragon are in the middle of this pet shop argumentation, and apparently there is an allusion to something that happened in the past, wherein now Jamie and they are so in deep in the argument that Jamie is now bringing up a past situation where a previous business partner was posting photos of he and Arena, but he was calling her sis. Now, I don't know about all of these things. In my mind, don't I guess I just have a different frame of mind when it comes to, social media. I very rarely post with other people in general, unless they are like, unless I'm at an event or something like that. I really don't know. I try to keep my Instagram me focused and really more focused on like what it is that I'm trying to convey, like what it is that I'm trying to do, a particular goal. My Instagram, in my opinion, should read like my resume of things that I'm capable of, I have accomplished, or that I'm doing that I want to attract attention to, right? It is a tool for me, right? It is simply that, a tool for me. And so, I think you just have to go into the relationship having an understanding of how you each work social media, right? And how it will work if you're featured on somebody else's social media. I personally don't even like to be featured on somebody else's social media because they be posting the craziest pictures of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I get approval first before you post that so that I know? Anyway, it sounded like Arena didn't even know this man was posting her or something like that. I don't know how she did not know, but whatever. But to Arena's credit, they do take a lot of photos, okay? And because they are photographed a lot at events. So I could see her not even knowing who she was photoed with because she's being photoed a lot because they are attending the events. Honestly, when you think if you were to think about DC socialites, I mean, I think the Tylers would be they, right? Because they are down to the events. They get the evites to the events and they attend the events and they be looking like money. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know. It just I'm trying to figure out this whole pet store argumentation to me. They really do need to get down to the bottom of at least either forgiving each other for the past or really, I mean, I hate to say it, and I understand Arena's perspective, but if you think that Joy has an issue, or if you think that Carmen could be an issue for Joy and Clifton, take that to them and leave Jamie out of it. That's my thought. Anyway, because now he done pulled up something from the past too. So now you're both sinking on the ship together. So anyway, Quick and Ashley take the family rock climbing, and my biggest concern is why nobody has on a harness. For me, I mean, I don't care. Like, I just it did not feel safe to me. I just feel like now I've not done the rock climbing things or whatever like that, but I feel like shouldn't we have on a harness? I don't know. That was just me. Anyway, Quick reveals he got together with all the guys for the wrestling match. Ashley is no longer interested in building a relationship with the Joy, but the Wizards have invited Quick to a game and he was going to invite all the guys. And it slowly turns into inviting everybody except for Winter and Yusha, except for Winter, Yusha, Sherelle, and Black. Where these people are, I have no idea, but they are not in the building. Okay. So Ashley reveals that she wants to have a separate meeting with Lil Jamie because she can identify with some things that he may be going through, and she feels that she can really help him hone in on whatever the hurt is because she too has experienced that. Which is another thing that I do like about this show is because I do feel like these people are really invested in each other's lives in that way, in a way that we don't necessarily always see with on other shows. So I do like that. Joy and Arena get together to take some photos. Arena jumps right in about Carmen posting Clifton on her gram. And she says she is not trying to shade the Carmen San Diego. She is simply trying to look out for how it looks for Joy and Clifton, and she wants to be a good friend, and that it triggered her and it feels inappropriate. Joy basically feels like this is preposterous and that she's been hearing this for a very long time. Arena's thought process that is that women can get very comfortable, and then that there's a perception thing that people may have with thinking that they're a throuple. I mean, Joy feels like Carmen is very upfront, honest, and loyal. And again, to me, I feel like this it's much ado about nothing. It may be triggering to you, Arena, and I feel like you need to get down to the bottom of that. But if it's really not bothering Joy and Clifton or Carmen, I just feel like it's really like that's their business. Now, if the streets are gossiping about it, then I guess that's another thing. But if they're not concerned about the gossip, then I mean, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? I listen, if they sound like they living stress free about it. So I mean, what we gonna do? Nothing. So anyway, the producer asks Arena if Joy and Clifton are in an open relationship. She says if so, she needs to mind her business. And I mean, you might have to do that. And so Joy then says, for whatever reason, she says, well, I could say that Ashley and Alicia could be a couple. She could call them finger twins because obviously with the tattoo that they got, they are doing the fingering on themselves. Yay, 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 yay. I don't think that's gonna play out too well. So anyway, Joy does appreciate the advice, but she wishes that Irena would have just been as protective of her then as she was, I mean, or about this as she wishes that Irena had been more protective of her in other ways. I feel like Irena was protective of her. I mean, she did get into a whole screaming match with Ashley at Ashley's party because she went and checked on Joy first. So I don't know. I don't know. Um, the Wizards game comes up and Joy reveals that she did send Ashley a very nice text asking to talk in person one on one, but apparently Ashley hadn't responded yet. This is one of those instances where I do feel like, and I think they touched on this last night, that Ashley and Joy should have probably had a one on one sit down similar to the way Arena and Ashley had. But because I think that Arena and Ashley were closer friends, it probably made more sense to them. But I do agree that the two of them probably sitting down in a less combustible environment probably would have yielded a better outcome. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But at least we would have seen them try because at this point now, Joy is going to be going into the game kind of blind because Ashley has not responded to the message. Now, I did pause the screen to read the message, and the message was fairly nice. I mean, I did feel like Joy was actually trying to, make amends. But similarly, when Ashley did the same, Joy took her time getting to a place where she felt like she could. And that's the reality of real life is that people do have to take their own time to get to the space where they're all okay. But given that they were all going to be at this thing, it probably would have been better to have had that conversation first. Now, the other reason why I wish that I had not watched the live last night and I had kind of waited until today was because I did find out. I believe y'all could correct me if I'm wrong if you saw the live. I believe that it was maybe requested of production that Clifton and Joi attend. And maybe the purpose behind that was to maybe get them all together. But I do know that Carlos says something that I do love is that he does not want his cast to go the way that some of the well, basically that Potomac is going, wherein nothing is resolved because people don't film together. So I think it's a catch 22 almost, right? You want the cast to be able to film together because a disjointed cast makes for a disjointed show and then the viewers don't want to watch. But if certain issues aren't settled, then they're going to explode within the group setting because they've never had a chance to simmer down. And for those of you guys who have never, maybe done reality TV, what I can tell you is that the cameras, the people, it all makes things a bit more combustible because there's so much energy in the space that to a certain degree, as I always tell you, if something goes up, it's gonna go down, right? As the energy rises, it's going to go down, right? So, just some technical aspects of the show that I kind of needed to touch on. I was in the live and trying to comment and be, show support because that's the type of person I am. But I gotta admit, I was also trying to watch the Carlisha story, abducted off the street with Kenya Moore. So and then I was making some edits to the book, and so I was just multiple tasking, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, um, Ashley, meanwhile, probably ain't responded because she got down to the sleep place because she can't sleep at nights. And she's, they basically got to take some blood and she to figure out why she can't, get to sleep or whatever like that. Anyway, I think as you get older, sometimes is it just me? Is that me? Like I feel like I used to be able to just boom fall asleep. Now I be waking up at night and stuff like that, and just like tossing and turning and all kind of like it's crazy. I wonder what that is. maybe I need to see the sleep people too. I don't know. Anyway, so the Tylers and Mama T are back with the bearded dragon, and they're feeding him super worms. Super worms look like maggots, and now that I think about all the things that I'm gonna have to try to feed this thing, I don't know if I'm gonna get it or not. Norman, can you do some research to find out where I can find me a bearded dragon that really does not require a lot of work today? What you what you what you mean you gotta get ready for Usher? You anyway, so um Terry, the intuitive healer, is back, and basically they sit down for the Ponderosa, and she really give it to them. She really do. Like, Arena, you can't make him respond how you want him to respond, and you know both of y'all being triggered, and she even asked. Let me tell you the key to a happy relationship. Terry asked Jamie, "Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?" Baby, that will solve 99.9% of your problems in a relationship. You need to ask yourself, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And when you start finding yourself responding in that manner, then 9 times out of 10, your relationships will all improve. I don't care about being right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You really have to pick and choose that battle, right? And use it judiciously. Like, do you need to be right now? Probably not. Okay, probably not. So she suggested they do some more work, right? Y'all got to get over this past stuff. Let it go, Elsa. Anyway, it's the night of the Wizards game, and Quick and Ashley arrive, followed by Alicia, who brings up that Clifton said that Ashley was jealous of Joi and Clifton. There was some talk in the chat last night about on the live that I was watching about who said the jealousy thing first. Was it Quick or was it Clifton? I don't really know, to be honest with you. All I know is all that matters is that the perception is that Clifton said it. Okay. So Joi and then Clifton are walking up, and Joi reveals that she did send a message to Ashley, but they have to understand that everyone responds in their own time. So I did feel like they went into the event with in bringing the right type of energy, which is we're gonna hope for the best. Okay. So once they arrive, no, well, Jamie and Arena arrive first, and everything is all good. But once Joi and Clifton arrive, they speak to everybody, but the only people that speak back are Arena and Jamie. So then there's an awkward toast, and then Jamie is like, "This feels crazy. Let's address the elefante in the room." He wants to know, is everybody good? Ashley, no, we're not good. Apparently, y'all think that I'm jealous of Joi. Okay. And so at that moment, Joy's like, "Would you like to step outside?" Ashley's like, "Gladly." So the next thing we see, they are into it. Okay. Ashley think it's foolish of them to be there. It's been a month of Sunday since they last saw each other. They disagree about how the argumentation went down in Ashley's house, especially not speaking when she walked in. Joi not speaking to her when she walked in. Then it's about Ashley not apologizing consistently or something like that. Joi feels like Ashley threw out I invited you guys here or something like that. I couldn't even get a thank you from you guys for inviting us here. I'm trying to figure out why that was brought up in that argumentation, or if it was to say y'all have latched on to the Tylers, but it was also me who had a hand in helping you guys get on the show. Was that what she was? I can't. I should have asked that when we had our interview, but when you be interviewing, you be into the conversation. Like I be just into it. Like I'm just hopping from one thing to the next. Like we go, it's a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, then it becomes about whether or not Ashley has been supportive or not. Joi feels like Ashley told their secret about this wedding to Alicia on the camera, and that wasn't supportive. But now they have a new problem because now it is whether or not Clifton and Carmen think that Ashley is jealous of Joi. Joy's like, well, I just want to know how we're going to be in the same room together. Okay. How we going to do it? Ashley's like, I don't want to be in a room with you. So then they agree to disagree. Okay. Well, they agree to agree. We're not going to be in the same room together, except when they go back into the same room together. And Ashley's like, no, ma'am, no, you don't. Get out of here. Get your ish and get out. And by your ish, I mean the man. Okay. That you came with. Your husband. So at that point, something happens where Ashley is now addressing Clifton, but Quick is out of the room. We saw him go to the run to the bathroom or wherever he went down to the hall. Okay, so then she addresses Cliff about the jealous comment. So then Clifton leans in. I'm just trying to figure out what your problem is with me. Now, it was the step up, the lean in, a lean back, a lean in, a lean back. It was the lean in that probably caused the issue, okay? Because at that moment, Ashley's hand, back up, back up. You better step the back. You better back up. You better back up. Well, how did he do it when she was imitating Candy? You better back up. You better back up. You better back up. Oh God. So anyway, the producer has to step in and pull people apart and whatnot, and we end there. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say this because I just know how these things work out on reality TV. Even if there's a conversation happening between a man and a woman, I think that when you lean in as a man, especially if you are much taller than the woman, it's going to come across as aggressive. And so I feel like it's really up to us men to kind of have to conduct ourselves in a manner that feels more like non-threatening. That's just me, you know what I'm saying? Especially if she telling us to get out or something like that. If somebody telling us to get out, if somebody's telling me to leave, I'm just gonna leave, right? I'm not arguing with you about staying in your space because I don't need to be there. Okay, I don't. Chances are I didn't want to come out anyway. Okay. What Mariah always used to say, catch. I was watching old episodes of Married to Medicine, and she'd be like, catch. And so yeah, so catch. Chances are I didn't want to go out nowhere, catch. So anyway, but no, on a serious tip, as a man, we just can't do that, right? We just gotta know how to posture ourselves because in the world that we live in today, you know, you just gotta be as a man. I feel like you walk into situations, especially as a black man, and we automatically have to understand our surroundings, and we also have to understand our surroundings in relation to other people. And in my opinion, also with women, so that because the more that I've really hung out with some of my lady friends, I have begun to understand that there are precautions that they take that I as a man don't often think about. And now that I have become a lot more aware of the precautions that they're taking and things that seem threatening to them, and they may not seem threatening to every woman, but the ones that are in my life, it has really opened my eyes to my own posture as it relates to other women and women that I'm not in association with, that I'm not familiar with, and just making sure that I stay back at a respectable distance so that it doesn't come across like I'm trying to be in their faces or spaces. I just try to move in that way now because I just understand how things can look. And I don't want to be in the mix of that. So that's my advice. That would be my advice to Clifton, is to be more aware of how you move in those situations, because you are, I would say, probably a relatively tall man. And I just think that you just got to be careful about that, specifically when said woman, her man is not there in the room at that moment, right? Because in my opinion, I know she's talking to you, but outside of simply responding, it is also the posture with which you have to be aware. That's really it. Do I think that there was like an intent to hit her? I don't think so. But again, your intent and another person's reactions, thoughts, fears are separate. And you can't control what somebody else thinks and how they react to you. So you just kind of have to try to move in a certain way. And that's just really what I think. Let me know what you guys think about it, because you guys could feel differently. So I want to hear it. Let me know in the chatterization down below. And then put yourself in the situation. How would you react, or how would you want your man to react? I think it's a tricky situation, and I don't think that it's going to play out well for him, at least with Ashley and probably Quick, because he's not going to see the incident. He's only going to hear about it. Now, when he sees it later, I'll still be interested to know what he feels in that situation once he sees it. But I guess we won't get that until the reunion. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I will catch you in the next video.